Welcome to another edition of Bison on the Front Line. This is our opportunity to say thank you and highlight some of our Bucknell alums who are on the front lines helping each and every day. There are literally thousands across the U.S. and around the world that are putting themselves in harm's way every day to make it a safer place for everyone else. And today we're joined by Kristen Sandel, who is class of 1998 from Bucknell, and she played softball for the Bison. And Kristen, first of all, how are you doing? Are you healthy and safe? And how's your personal things going right now?
Well, thanks, Todd, for asking, and thanks for having me on, and thanks for doing this video chat. It's great to see you and see Bucknell in the background. Definitely miss it. But yeah, I mean, I'm fortunately healthy. My family's healthy. We've been I've been in self-isolation for since the middle of March. So I haven't really seen any family or friends. I do get socialization at work, which is great. So I am able to see my friends here. But fortunately, our staff here in southeastern Pennsylvania has been fairly safe despite all of the patients being in emergency department.
So can you, for the folks at home that are watching, can you let everyone know exactly where you work and what
Sure.
you specifically do there?
Sure. So I'm an emergency medicine physician. I work for Tower Health. I'm on medical staff at 3 different hospitals right now. Today I'm at Phoenixville, and I see patients. We're seeing a lot of nursing home patients in the hospitals right now. That's across the country, but we are dealing with a lot of patients that do have the virus, as you probably know. But we are seeing other patients as well, that need emergency medical care, and with other medical services not available, we are one of the only options for patients.
So what are the hospitals that you work in doing to help protect the frontline workers? Obviously, I see the goggles and the multiple masks, but what kind of steps do they put in place to keep you all safe?
Sure. So no, our institution and a lot of the institutions around the country have been great about getting us protective equipment. So PPE, you might have heard of, personal protective equipment. So we have masks, we have, we have gowns, gloves. We do have respirators as well and other devices that keep us safe. We've been fortunate to have the public be very generous. So, I've had friends, but we've also had the public donate N95 masks from engineering labs and dental offices and from other educational institutions to the healthcare workers, which has been fantastic. And so we've fortunately been lucky that we have PPE in our institution.
I got a small taste of what it means for the frontline workers to have a donation when last Friday we took Bucky the Bison to Sandel Hospital and donated Dunkin' gift cards to the staff there, and they were very, very appreciative of it. And I must say they were very thorough with their screening procedures as we walked in the lobby, and as I'm sure all the hospitals and institutions are doing across the country.
Yeah, we get our temperatures checked when we come to work. We're supposed to check our temperatures twice a day. If it's anything over a certain temperature, then we can't work and we have to self-isolate and quarantine ourselves. But, very happy with the community outreach. I don't think there's been a day where we haven't gotten pizza or ice cream or hoagies. In fact, we call it the COVID-15. It's kind of like, the first 15, because we get so much food here and people have been so generous to us. We just have to figure out how to eat and drink it without having a mask on, and then we'd be all set.
How would you describe the volume of patients you're seeing in terms of, I mean, this is certainly like nothing like you've ever seen before, nothing like any of us have seen before, but on the front lines, it's got to be completely different. How would you describe what's happening on a daily basis there?
So it depends on where you are in the country. In some of the more populous cities, they are being, ravaged on the front lines with a huge volume of patients, mostly with the virus. But it, like I said, it depends on where you work. So some of the hospitals that are not in the cities that are more populated, we are seeing a fair amount of the COVID patients, but our other volumes have gone down because truthfully the public just doesn't want to come to the hospital or the emergency department, which I completely understand.
Right. And then that leads into my next question. So doing this day after day and getting up and knowing you have to fight this enemy that we just don't know a whole lot about yet. And then knowing that sometimes you're not going to have very good positive outcomes during that day. How do you guys keep yourself motivated and positive throughout this process?
So yeah, I mean, we have a great team. We have a great team at all the hospitals that I work at, and and we keep each other motivated, just like we would on an athletic field. Um, we are seeing a lot of people that are sick and very sick and are dying. But I've really reconnected with my friends from high school and my friends from Bucknell and my friends from medical school, and we've been Zooming almost every week with those people. And recently my team from Bucknell, mostly the people from the team in '97, have had a weekly Zoom call, which has been fantastic. And I look forward to it. We call it a happy hour, but it's about a happy 2.5 hours of a call. And recently invited, Coach Joey to join us as well. And, it really is a bright part of my day, because with all of the things going on, around me, have somebody, that familiar that you see, and that you can see and talk to and see their kids and see their families, and see that there's life outside of self-quarantine and the hospital, and that, life on, and just having that support from my former teammates has been invaluable.
Well, that leads me to my last question. And again, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day today to join me for a few minutes. But how would you, going back to your days as a student athlete at Bucknell, what have you taken away from those experiences that you can use in your everyday life now, especially as you confront this crisis?
Sure. I mean, I think athletics, is a huge part of a lot of people's lives that work in healthcare, and a lot of us have been on teams and have been on team captains and leaders of teams. So, going from the diamond, we'll say, to an department, I've taken the lessons that I learned, both the wins and the losses, and dealing with adversity, and dealing with being behind, and dealing with seasons that haven't been so great, and how to overcome it, and how to help not only yourself overcome it, but also the people around you. And so I think that all of the things that I learned from Coach Grebe and from my teammates, and from things that I experienced at Bucknell, both athletically and in the classroom, have really prepared me for dealing with this crisis. And I can't thank Mel enough for preparing me, because it's a tough job right now, but hopeful that we'll all be back to work soon.
Well, Kristen, I'm really glad to see you and that you're doing well. I hope you continue to stay safe. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today, and I know people around the world appreciate what you all do and are doing right now. So thank you from Bison Nation, and stay Bison strong.
Well, thank you, and Ray Bucknell, go Bison.